I'm Megan with the I Believe podcast for A Cure in Sight, and I have a great guest with us tonight to honor Men's Health Month. So I have Marco Moreno here with us. Welcome, Marco.
Hi, Megan. How's it going? Thank you for the invitation. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Yes, we're thrilled to have you here. So tell us a little bit about what you do and what we're going to talk about.
Yes, I'm actually a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I've been teaching Jiu-Jitsu in Leesburg, Virginia for the past 13 years. I got my black belt under Grandmaster Helson Gracie, which is the son of the founder of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Master Elio Gracie. And through my years of teaching, I have seen the positive impact of Jiu-Jitsu in all my students, kids, men, women. So I'm very happy to talk to you all about it.
Fantastic. So why don't you start by telling us what is Jiu-Jitsu? How is it different from another martial art?
Jiu-Jitsu is a form of grappling. Grappling is something that humans have done for thousands of years. The Greeks were doing wrestling. The earliest record of this particular style of grappling called Jiu-Jitsu can be traced back to Japan. Jiu-Jitsu is a Japanese word that means the gentle art. And it was techniques used by military. The samurai were using Jiu-Jitsu as their hand-to-hand combat fighting style. Around the, I think, late 1800s, Japan became open to the world after a big restoration. This art was meant to be lost, but there was a scholar, his name was Jigoro Kano, and he had the great idea to rescue these jiu-jitsu techniques and reapply it for a modern use. He categorized it, he organized the jiu-jitsu techniques from different schools of jiu-jitsu from all over Japan. He created a curriculum, he packaged it, and he put it to the service of, instead of for military, just for civilians. So his idea was that jiu-jitsu and the practice of this martial art was going to help the betterment of society. At that time, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, jiu-jitsu and judo, because Jigoro Kano repackaged jiu-jitsu and called it judo. But at that time, jiu-jitsu and judo, the terms meant the same thing. And then from there, many Japanese jiu-jitsu fighters were going all over the world to teach this art. And one of them arrived in Brazil. And just to make the long story short, one Japanese guy who arrived in Brazil, Mitsuo Maeda, taught jiu-jitsu to the Gracie family. Elio Gracie modified, he made the style even better. And then I think from there he started teaching all his kids. He had a lot of kids. Between Elio Gracie and Carlos Gracie, they had more than 20 kids. From that point on, 1993, Jiu-Jitsu has become the most rapid sport growing sport all over the world. And now it's also called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So that's the style that I practice. Mainly it's a grappling art, but originally Jiu-Jitsu also has some striking. But the difference between Jiu-Jitsu and other arts is that it's mainly grappling. It's not like karate or taekwondo or kung fu. And the particular style of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu focus a lot also on the ground. So a lot of fights, a lot of styles don't cover the ground aspect of a fight. But Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is taking somebody onto the ground and controlling them and using submissions and also all kind of joint locks.
That is fascinating. So how did you get into it?
Well, I'm from Peru. So I was in
Okay.
Peru and I was in college. And let's say I was just having too much fun in college
Yep.
to the point that I got to a point where I realized that I kind of was wasting my youth, wasting my energy, and I was not doing anything positive with myself. I really wasn't happy with my lifestyle back then. I saw Hoist Gracie in the first UFC, the event, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, where he went and being the smaller fighter in that tournament, he defeated the biggest guys, he defeated big wrestlers, he defeated big karate guys, and it was just so impressive to see how effective his technique was. So I had it like in my mind that that will be a cool thing to do to learn jiu-jitsu, but there was no jiu-jitsu schools in my town. And I remember just driving or in the bus passing and looking at the sign of a judo school. And after years, that was my route when I was going to college from my house. I decided one day to just go in. And that day I joined my first class. The instructor there, his name is Pablo Salvatierra. He became my best friend, one of my best friends. And he was teaching the class. He was a brown belt at the time. And then I joined the class, and just the first minutes, we were doing warm ups and then we were doing takedowns. I remember after the class, I felt so good that I worked out. And the next day, my body was so sore. And I felt like, in a way, alive, that my body woke up. And I loved the feeling. Right there, I decided that I was going to do jiu-jitsu for the rest of my life.
You
Here
were
I am.
addicted after day one.
Yes, day one, I already knew this is it. And I haven't stopped ever since. Well, I had stopped for injuries or for when I came to the United States, I stopped for a year. But that year was 2002 when I started the jiu-jitsu. So it's been more than 20 years that I've been doing jiu-jitsu, and it completely changed my life. And that's why I'm also teaching it to students, because I feel very passionate about it. I felt like if that jiu-jitsu can do that for me, it can do it for others as well. So I decided to become, in a way, an ambassador, somebody who can introduce jiu-jitsu to other people, and hopefully they will also see the benefits.
What was it about jujitsu that was so intriguing to you? Like, what was it that started that addiction, do you think?
Yes, it's funny that you mentioned, because it can become like an addiction, but I would say it's a healthy addiction, right?
Oh, for sure.
But
Absolutely.
right. So I think to me the main thing was at the beginning it was the workout. The workout was the main thing at that time. I was looking to get in shape, and it's just a good functional workout. For example, when you go to the gym and you run in the treadmill, it's just you're just running. It's
Boring.
there's no, I don't think it's very challenging. I mean, it can get challenging in a way, right? But here you are actually, when you are doing jujitsu, somebody's trying to take you down or submit you. So you have to defend yourself if you don't want to get choked out.
Aura Biosciences is a clinical stage biotechnology company focused on developing precision therapies for solid tumors that aim to preserve organ function. Our lead candidate, Belsar, is currently in late stage development for primary choroidal melanoma and in early stage development in other ocular oncology indications and bladder cancer. Our mission is to grow as an innovative global oncology company that positively transforms the lives of patients. For more information, please visit us at aurabiosciences.com.
So you're actually moving for a reason.
Mhm.
And at the same time, you're also thinking and trying to solve the riddle that he's trying to throw at you. So that I like that part of the workout, and it becomes fun, right? So it's not like automatic or something that takes a lot of effort to go to the gym. Instead, jiu-jitsu becomes something that you look forward to do. And at the same time, this is what happens if you let's say you have you start eating junk food or drink the day before, or you didn't sleep well, and then you go to a jiu-jitsu class, you're gonna pay for it, and you're gonna regret that you ate so bad the day before or the same day, right? And you're gonna be, probably somebody's gonna make you pay for it. Somebody's gonna choke you, take your arm, and you're gonna be like, I don't want this to happen to me again, so I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm not gonna eat too much sugar or too much junk food, so I can be ready next time when I go to jiu-jitsu and I don't get beat up so bad. So then jiu-jitsu becomes something that helps you accountability, right? When if you don't take care of yourself, when you show to the mats, it's gonna show. You're gonna be slow, you're gonna have low energy, and somebody is gonna make you pay for it. So I love that in jiu-jitsu. So it forced me to keep eating healthy, to sleep well, because I didn't want to suck on the mats.
I mean, that makes sense. Okay, so you found something that you were loving, it was making you feel good, and then how did you decide that you wanted to teach it and take that next step?
Yes, the teaching happens very organically. Once you start getting promoted and going through the ranks, you start getting a blue belt. It's still a learning curve when you're a blue belt, but when you get to a purple belt, you are pretty good at jiu-jitsu, and you will see the white belts that come and they are totally lost, and you see them making the same mistakes you made. So you start helping them. So it comes from like, hey, don't do it like that, do it like this. And I remember my instructor at the time, his name is Don Wallen. I used to train at a school called Fightworks in Sterling, Virginia, when I moved here to the United States. When I got to purple belt, and he saw my interest on helping, and he gave me the chance to teach one class on Tuesday nights. So I started teaching my class on Tuesday nights, and some guys will show up, and I start seeing myself as a teacher at that time. And then from there, what happened is that then after a few years there, he decided to move to another state and close the school. And at that time I was living in Leesburg, so I made the commute from Leesburg to Sterling to train there. And I think that was the right time. I got my brown belt, which is the belt before the black belt. And that's when I decided that it was a good time for me to open a school. And then I opened the school in Leesburg in 2011. And yes, like I said, it started happening without you even realize, becoming a teacher, and people are listening to you, and people are coming to you and saying, hey, thank you for the class today. When I open the school, parents will come and say, thank you for my kid is doing great now that he's doing jiu-jitsu. You'll see the impact, and then you get motivated. So it comes from a place of helping others. To me, one of the biggest rewards is when you see a kid who came because he's been bullied, and then you start teaching jiu-jitsu, and the kid start becoming a little more outgoing, more confident. He can look at you in the eyes. You start seeing the fire coming back to him, and then regaining that confidence on himself. And then some of these kids, after so many years, they grow, they come when they are 9, 10. And then I had so many kids who graduate from high school. They are 17. They are so much taller than me. It's hard for me to beat them in jiu-jitsu. They got so good at jiu-jitsu, and it's just great to see that transformation. So it gives me a lot of reward to see that transformation and the positive impact on the students. So it keeps me motivated to keep teaching it.
Oh, that's fantastic. So tell us, because we're talking about men's health here, what are some positive effects that this has on men in their daily lives? What is this bringing to the table for them?
Yes, men in particular, I think regarding men's health, I guess we can divide it in two aspects, right? The physical health and the mental health. The physical health, like I think I already mentioned, it has to do with the challenge of a workout, going to the mats, sparring with somebody else that is trying to choke you out. You want to perform and you want to do well. So naturally, what are you going to do? You're going to start eating better. You're going to start taking care of yourself, drinking less, right? Or you used to go to the bar, I guess, decompress from the stress. Now you go to jiu-jitsu. That's where you release all that energy. I think that's the physical. I've seen many students who go to jiu-jitsu and they lose a lot of weight and they get in the best shapes of their lives and they are really happy. And then they tell you all these stories like, hey man, I lost 5 pounds since I started jiu-jitsu. I lost 10 pounds since I started jiu-jitsu. I lost 20 pounds. It's just natural that you start taking care of yourself and the physical part. And in the mental department, mental health, there's so many things regarding mental health and jiu-jitsu. I think the most important, the sense of community. When you go to a jiu-jitsu class, is different than if you go to a gym where people are doing their own thing. You cross by somebody, you don't even say hi. In jiu-jitsu, when you come, it's like a big family. Everybody knows each other. Everybody knows each other's names. Or if they don't know, they introduce each other. And then when you start sparring, it creates a bond with each other, right? And I've seen many students become their best friends in jiu-jitsu. They create friendships. And it's just great because after training, we start talking. And of course, somebody's joking and we're laughing. Many times I close the school, and when I leave, let's say 9 p.m., I go outside and the guy's still talking on the parking lot, right? And they're just talking about different things. And it's just a great community. Everybody support each other. And it's kind of ironic because on the mats, we're trying to, I say, tap each other, submit each other out. But after, it's all respect, it's all fun, creating a good community. So I think that's a big part of the mental health for men, to be part of a group who's trying to accomplish the same goals, right? It's not as a destructive environment. At the same time, regarding mental health, you can also mention that there's a lot of problem solving. There's a lot of men. I don't know if you agree with this, but for example, my wife always gives me a problem and I want to solve it right away.
Yes.
And she's like,
I know exactly what you're going to say.
right. So she's like, why are you giving me solutions? I need you to listen to me and to understand what I'm going through. Oh, okay. Well, we operate different, men and women, right?
Right.
And jiu-jitsu, we like to solve problems as men, and that gave us a sense of accomplishment, right? And we like physical things. In jiu-jitsu, there's a lot of problem solving. When you're sparring with somebody, they are trying to do a move on you, and then you're trying to counter that move, and then maybe you do, but then they present you another problem, and it's very rapid, constant problem solving. and it's very mentally challenging. And of course, you burn a lot of energy. Those minutes where you're on the mat, you're not thinking about, I don't know, bills. You're not thinking about your boss, any other problems that a man will have. It's all about being there and releasing the energy, solving the problems, being with your community. Life goes on from there, I guess, right? We like that more as men versus just sitting and talking about our problems. I think that's a way that we men cope with daily life.
Yeah, so it really puts you in a group where you have a strong sense of community, and you kind of create like a family setting where you all bond with each other and support each other, and you're getting in shape and using your brain. I mean, it sounds like ideal, really.
Yes, you have no idea how much fighting creates some bonding. I don't know if you follow boxing or MMA. MMA is mixed martial arts, like the UFC, the cage fighting. But many times you see these fighters who, before the fight, they start talking, trash talking each other, insulting each other. Sometimes they do have to build the fight. Most of the times after they fought each other, they're hugging and paying each other respect. They're just like talking about how great his opponent is. So it creates bonding for some reason, for some strange reason, fighting.
Well, if you think about little boys, that's how they play.
Oh yes, wow, that's a good point that you made, because in a way we're playing also when we do jiu-jitsu. Yes, you're right. Boys or in nature, when you see animals, little lions or little monkeys, they wrestle each other, and they're playing, they're having fun, they're also bonding, they're also training, right?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when we teach kids, we teach them jiu-jitsu as a game. We disguise the training in, let's play this game, but really what we're doing, we're training them to learn how to take somebody down, to escape positions.
Castle Biosciences is a proud sponsor of this I Believe podcast. Castle's innovative uveal melanoma tests provide valuable information about the risk of your eye cancer spreading to help you and your healthcare team individualize the management of your disease. To learn more, visit castlebiosciences.com.
So, but you're right. Kids play a lot. As adults, we don't play anymore. We stop playing with each other. But when you go to jiu-jitsu, it's almost like we start playing again. We're all grown men on our 30s, 40s, 20s, and we start playing with each other again. So you see, it's funny because you see across the room and you'll always see somebody sparring, but they're also laughing at the same time.
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
they're just having so much fun. So yeah, that's a good point. I think that can help also in the mental health department to start, having fun with your peers again.
I feel like there's really so much that any man or woman, we're talking about men's health, but women as well, could really gain from this, a sense of accomplishment, eating better, working out, finding a community that is embracing you and making friends. Like, it really sounds very wonderful. So I love that you're here talking to us today and telling us all about it, because I think a lot of people listening who have been looking for something like that might be going, oh man, maybe I should try that. What do you say to the people who are saying, maybe I should try that?
Yeah, I would say give it a shot. Don't disqualify yourself right off the bat. Many times I talk to people about coming to a class and do jiu-jitsu, and sometimes what they say is, let me go get in shape first. Let me go get in shape, and then I'll join your jiu-jitsu class. But they have it backwards, right? It's not like you need to get in shape to do jiu-jitsu. You just have to go to jiu-jitsu, start doing it, and when you start doing jiu-jitsu, it's going to help you get in shape. So just try the class. If you have a major injury you had before, a major surgery, hip replacement, or things that it could be hard to to do an activity like this, of course, but most schools give you a free trial. You also have to be very good at selecting which school do you go, because there are schools that focus primarily on competition. So all they do at their schools is to train fighters for MMA or for jiu-jitsu competition. So their training is very intense, and maybe that's not for you because you are older or you have injuries. But there are schools like my school. I don't focus too much on performance, on creating competition teams. It's mostly for the regular people. Doesn't matter the age or gender or size or physical shape. You just come join, and we have created a beginners program where it's a very slow and incremental progress. So you're not going to start doing the intense training right off the bat. So I would say go ahead and give it a shot, and it might change your life like it did to me.
Oh, that's amazing. Marco, I'm so excited that you came and told us all about jiu-jitsu. This has been a lot of great information, and I learned a lot because I really didn't know what jiu-jitsu was all about. I knew it was a martial art, but that was pretty much the extent of what I knew. So I love that we got to kind of go do a deep dive into what it actually is and how it can benefit people. Is there anything else that you want to add before we close out?
Sure. I would say that when you start doing jiu-jitsu, you become a little more resilient as well. Like I mentioned, I started doing jiu-jitsu when I was in Peru, and then I was training there for a year, and then I moved here to the United States, and I came with just like $200 in my pocket, and just I had family here, but I had to struggle to get by and to survive pretty much, right? And because I was already training jiu-jitsu, I had this mindset of fighting, of like, I won't let struggles beat me, right? And it doesn't matter how bad things get, you can find a solution. In jiu-jitsu, we get put in very bad positions, very uncomfortable, claustrophobic positions. And sometimes you do the wrong move that, or you desperate or you panic, that makes the situation even worse. But in jiu-jitsu, you learn that no matter how hard a position is, there is always an efficient and intelligent way of escaping or to approach that problem. So then you start applying that mindset to everything, right? I always find people under 40s that start jiu-jitsu, and this is what they say: I wish I started this when I was younger.
Yeah.
If you ask 100% of the adult class, I would say 25, 30 and above, you ask them, hey, would you wish you started jiu-jitsu before? 100% I'm going to tell you, of course, I would have loved to start jiu-jitsu this when I was a teenager. So it's a perfect age because you're just into your body, into your fully on your prime of your physical attributes. So and you're still young, so you learn fast.
At that age, they kind of need that discipline, and so I think it would help a lot with that as well.
Yeah, 100%.
So what is the name of your school?
The name of my school is Mastery Jiu-Jitsu. We've been in Leesburg since 2011. My school has won Best of London since I started the competition in 2020 for 5 years in a row. You're listening to this podcast and you cannot make it all the way to Leesburg. Just check Mastery Jiu-Jitsu online, where we have online courses. You start from zero, the beginner's course, and then you can start moving into the more advanced courses. We also have a women's self-defense course. If you check out Mastery Jiu-Jitsu online, it could be a good tool for you to get introduced to the art of Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, that's fantastic. So everybody watching or listening, please check them out. Go check out their website and check out their online courses. That's awesome. I wouldn't have even thought that you could do an online course with that. So I love that you're doing that.
Yes, I mean, it's not the same as doing the physical, but some people for whatever reason they don't have access to a jiu-jitsu school, or they just want to know, they may be intimidating to go to a jiu-jitsu school. So you can watch the videos and kind of get familiar with what the moves are, and maybe you can get a partner and watch the videos, and then you practice with a partner in your home, right? Maybe you have an injury and you are not sure about going to a jiu-jitsu school where you might get hurt, so maybe you can just do it at home. And then maybe as you start getting familiar with the moves, maybe from there you'll create the confidence to just join an actual jiu-jitsu school. It's not the same, but it can be a good tool to start.
I think that's really, really great that you offer that.
Yes, and I also get this argument sometimes. I'm a lover, I'm not a fighter. But I'm also a lover, and I actually don't like fights.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I fought. Actually, I had to jiu-jitsu only one time, and it was to separate my friend who was fighting with this guy. As a matter of fact, knowing a martial art will actually make you a better lover, I would say.
Definitely. And I was going to say, and you've already gotten all of your stress and aggression out in class. You've got your endorphins because you exercise, so you don't have any reason to want to fight anybody. You're like on top of life right now.
True. Many times after jiu-jitsu, I'm driving and somebody cuts you off. The last thing you do is to get into a road rage episode.
Yeah.
You just say peace. Somebody insults you, you say, hey man, sorry about that. And you just go up because the listening. And also you realize how dangerous it is to actually fight. When you do jiu-jitsu so much, you already proving yourself. You already know what you're capable of on the mats. So there is no need to go to a bar and start looking for fights. There is no that insecurity. At the same time, you realize how so many things can go wrong in fights.
All right, Marco. Well, I so appreciate you being here and taking the time to talk to us and tell us all about jiu-jitsu and how it can benefit lives, and for both men and women, but especially men during Men's Health Month. So to everyone out there watching, please check out Marco's website. Tell us what it is again.
The website is masteryjj.com.
Fantastic. And the name of your school was again?
Mastery Jiu-Jitsu. We have a location in Leesburg.
And online courses. So please check that out. We will link all of Marco's links in our show notes when this is edited later. It's live now. So I'll go in the live post and put the links in the comments as well. If you still need help finding Marco, just send me a message and I will be happy to connect you. And as always, we want to thank you for watching and for tuning in. We can't do any of this without you and without our sponsors, so we're just very, very grateful and very thankful that everyone is here being a part of our community. And for A Cure in Sight, if you go to our website, acureinsight.org, at the top, you can join our newsletter. You'll get a newsletter once a month. We are not spammy, but we do send you one a month with all the stuff that's going on, events and fundraisers and 5Ks and different things that you can do, be a part of, or watch. The podcast, we have new episodes every month, and we love to share information. It's free to you. Every Tuesday we have a Zoom meeting so that you can connect with other people in the community who are either a little more experienced and can help you, or maybe new to the community that you can help. And we also have a program that can pair you up as a buddy if you need a buddy. So just reach out to us. We love to hear from you guys. Leave us a comment and tell us what you thought about this and what you would like to hear next, what's interesting to you. We can do a podcast on anything you guys would love. So let us know in the comments what you would like to see in the future. And Marco, that's all for me. Are you good?
We're good. Thank you so
You're
much.
good? All right. Well, Marco and I are going to sign off. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we will see you guys next time.